Hello, my name is Brian Gilbert. Today I'll be talking about universal basic income. It's a pretty exciting subject, but hang with me. It's an informative presentation for my professional communication course as offered by Professor Dr. Graves. What if I told you that we could potentially cure or reduce poverty or even promote equality worldwide? As the global workforce evolves with the advent of artificial intelligence, industries are becoming more automated. Inevitably, there will be more workers than jobs, or jobs that compensate nearly as much. This imbalance lends itself to the need for a creative solution, one that fosters innovation and eliminates poverty. What is Universal Basic Income, UBI? What are the origins of universal basic income? Does UBI work with a capitalistic society like the U.S.? Universal basic income is a periodic cash payment made by the government or political community and is unconditionally delivered to all on an individual basis without means, test, or work requirements. Origins of the universal basic income can be traced back to the end of World War I, when British philosopher and mathematician Bertrand Russell saw it as a perfect way to appeal to both socialists and anarchists. Later, in the 1980s, the subject became popularized again by academics and world leaders alike, addressing poverty in third world countries. Does UBI work in a capitalistic society like the United States? To date, the only instance of basic income in the United States of America is Alaska. The Alaska Permanent Fund is a state-owned investment fund established using oil revenues. Since 1982, though, the fund has paid out an annual dividend to every man, woman, and child living in Alaska. In 2015, with higher oil prices, the money totaled an impressive $2,072 per person, or $8,288 for a family of four. Not bad, right? Dynamics of universal basic income include citizenship, distribution of funds, income payment amounts. It is inherent with grants and dividends, I know it's boring stuff, being distributed by a government or local political community to establish somewhat of a restriction on eligibility for UBI. The consensus is that citizenship is required to be eligible, but that it is subject to the source of funding and also the participating country. Distribution of funds. The universality aspect of basic income determines that benefits go to all individuals of a nation, including children. Any exception for distribution of income would be deemed socially divisive. As a result, every individual of a community receives the income. Income payment amounts. Universal basic income is meant to systemically cover poverty and provide a basic level of survival and equality for everyone. It is meant to be a supplement to other sources of income or wealth. Jobs are still encouraged for all. Idealism versus realism. Who pays for this universal basic income? Surely this isn't free, right? How do industry leaders feel about UBI? If successfully tested and implemented, who wins with UBI? Unfortunately, this is why UBI is not more popular or rampant with many countries today. It is expensive, but a utopian endeavor, and ultimately increases taxation, which unduly impacts the very people that it is trying to help. Currently, though, many wealthier countries are piloting and testing UBI to include Switzerland, Canada, Britain, and Finland. So industry leaders are conflicted about UBI. Recently, several titans of industry have chimed in with their take on UBI. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg are a few individuals in favor of this socio-economic mechanism, but a fellow billionaire, NBA Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, still has reservations about this socialistic welfare-styled solution and its implementation. Cuban stated it was a slippery slope and asked, should I get UBI? Who doesn't get it? How much? Who pays for it? How? These are all valid questions, of course, and probably why we don't see much implementation today, or at least yet. If successfully tested and implemented, who wins with UBI? Well, the impoverished stands to benefit the most, but human equality and civil rights aren't far behind. There is still a lot to be determined about UBI and how it can be successfully implemented in poorer countries. There is little doubt that UBI would eliminate economic migration, though, which is a very pervasive problem in today's world. Thank you so much for your time. There are many resources out there, including recent events, interviews, news articles, and everything regarding this controversial subject. I hope that beyond my discussion, you will reach out and do some research on your own as well. Thank you and have a great night.